The screen door clattered shut behind her, its sound cutting through the quiet like the final sentence in a story you didn't want to end. Julie, my wife of 10 years, had just kissed me goodbye on the front porch. Her perfume, light floral, and far too luxurious for our modest lifestyle, lingered long after her cherry-red convertible disappeared down the street. There was something about that kiss, though. It wasn't cold, not exactly, but it lacked the tenderness I had come to expect from her over the years. I brushed it off as exhaustion. We were both running on fumes from demanding jobs. That evening, I had lost myself in the simple comfort of our garden. Digging, planting, tending to rows of vegetables had always brought a sense of order to the chaos life sometimes threw our way. That small patch of earth behind our home symbolized everything we'd built together. At least, I believed it did. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the blinds, too bright and too harsh. I moved through the kitchen like a ghost, brewing coffee that did little to settle the knot of unease in my stomach. I was already behind schedule. Construction sites don't wait. But something pulled my attention as I stepped outside. Julie's car was still in the driveway. That was strange. Normally, she'd be gone before I was even out of bed. Her devotion to her hospital rounds legendary. Then I noticed it. A small envelope jammed into the crease of the driver's side window. Cheap, cream-colored, slightly stained. I didn't need to open it to know what it was. My heart pounded as I unfolded it. Inside was a single key. No note, just a room key with a stamped logo on the back, the Crimson Rose. I knew the place. Everyone did. It wasn't classy, not even close. A rundown motel on the outskirts of town, famous for being discreet and forgettable. My chest tightened. That kiss. The way she'd lingered. Her car still here. The envelope. The pattern was forming, and I didn't want to believe it, but denial didn't stand a chance against the evidence piling up. Julie wasn't just tired. She was cheating. The hours that followed felt disconnected from time. My body moved, but my mind reeled. I barely remembered calling in sick. I only knew I had to know more. I used my contacts to start digging. Quiet questions, casual mentions of a name I found on the motel registry. Edward Jameson. It didn't take long before people started talking. A doctor. Young. Handsome. A rising star in oncology. Someone had even spotted him driving a sleek, imported sports car. My stomach churned. He had charm, money, a promising future. And now apparently my wife. I looked him up online. His social media was a parade of curated perfection. 5-star dinners, sun-drenched holidays, the kind of smugness that practically reached through the screen. My blood simmered. He didn't just take my wife. He did it without remorse, without even acknowledging what he'd destroyed. I knew I needed to see him. Not at the hospital, not at work. I waited. Found his address. A freshly built house, flashy and modern. His car glistened in the driveway, and I parked far enough away not to be seen immediately. My hands were fists. My chest tight. This wasn't about violence. At least it hadn't started that way. I just wanted him to understand the gravity of what he'd done. To see fear replace his arrogance. He was home. I stepped through the door before he had time to react. He was mid-conversation, laughing, until he saw me. His face turned ghostly pale. "You," he stammered, already stumbling backward. I didn't say a word. My fist did the talking. Once. Twice. Again. Until that confident, polished exterior shattered beneath the weight of my fury. When he finally crumpled to the floor, wheezing, bleeding, the rage inside me finally began to ebb, replaced with a hollow void. I didn't say anything. Just turned and walked out. Julie tried to lie at first. Tears followed and apologies. But the truth sat between us, too loud to ignore. Her betrayal had been deliberate, repeated. There was no room left for forgiveness. We split everything, home, possessions, shared memories, like broken glass scattered across a courtroom floor. The divorce was fast, merciless. She lost everything. Her job, her name, her dignity. The hospital couldn't overlook her affair, not when it involved a fellow doctor and scandalous details. Edward's fall was just as steep. Word spread. Connections whispered. The media got wind. Photos, timelines, gossip. He was out of work, his reputation demolished. I didn't hide what had happened. I made sure the truth followed them everywhere. In the wreckage, I returned to the garden. My sanctuary. The only place that still made sense. What once symbolized a shared dream now became a space of solitude and healing. Every weed I pulled, every seed I planted, helped stitch a little more strength back into me. It was a quiet kind of recovery. No grand gestures, no new love waiting in the wings. Just me, the earth, and the resolve to rebuild. What they destroyed wasn't just a marriage. It was a life built on trust. But they hadn't destroyed me. Their perfect facades crumbled. Their futures rewritten in scandal. That kiss on the porch, the last one, still haunted me, a ghost of what was. But even ghosts fade. And so slowly did the pain. I was still standing. Still growing. And that was enough.